good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you may be watching this, because you may have missed class or you need to go over the notes one more time with me. Any of which is fine. Not missing class. I actually need you in class. But as always, let's start with what we were working on. So today's date, or when you may be watching this, is either going to be 8/17 if you're watching this on Monday, or 8/18 if you're watching this on Tuesday. So these would be like periods 1 through 4. These would be periods 5 through 8. All right. And what we are working on is we are estimating non-perfect squares. We are estimating non-perfect squares. And if you remember a little bit about non-perfect squares, all non-perfect squares are irrational. All non-perfect squares are irrational, whereas all perfect squares are rational. All perfect squares are rational. Now, you should have just spent a little bit of time on Quizlet looking at perfect squares and remembering what those were from 7th grade. Maybe you kind of talked about it in 6th grade, okay? So let's get those written down first. So on the far left side, we are going to put our perfect squares. All right. This is going to be a nice long list. You ready? So we are going to have the number squared. And let's draw a nice long line. And the perfect square. All right, we're going to just go down this list. So 0 squared is obviously 0. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared, 4. 3 squared, 9. 4 squared, 16. I need to move this down so you can see it. 5 squared, 25. 6 squared, 36. 7 squared, 49. 8 squared, 64. 9 squared, 81. 10 squared, 100. 11 squared, 121. Almost there, y'all. Almost there. 12 squared, 144. 13 squared, 169. 14 squared, 196. Last one. And 15 squared is 225. Okay? The one thing you need to remember is if you take the square root, just the plain old number is the answer that I'm looking for. The square root of 225 is not 15 squared, it is 15. Okay? So we're going to stop this video for right now. Make sure you have those written down, and then we're going to go on to the next part.